everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Slade, the Buffyverse Revisited. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Jeremy.
I'm your other host, James.
And James, this week we are going to be revenging our way into Season 7, Episode 17, the best episode of this season thus far, Lies My Parents Told Me.
Yes, that is factually accurate. We will be revenging our way into, hands down, the best episode of the season so far.
Without even, there's not even a close second.
No.
So, yeah. James?
Yes, sir?
How the fuck are you, man?
I am fucking phenomenal.
Amazeballs!
Amazeballs! How are you?
I, too, am fan-fucking-tabulous.
Awesome.
I'm in a much better mood today because, we got a couple of what I consider to be a couple of really good, definitely the best episodes thus far to go over. Therefore, I'm not dreading every single moment of this podcast.
Yes, we do. We do have a couple of peek behind the curtains. We record 2 of these at a time, like 2 episodes per recording session. And yes, this time we do have two good episodes, thankfully, to go over. So,
and in my opinion, and I know you don't agree with me, I've already gotten that just from our little going back and forth here on the show, but I still say after today we're going to have 4 episodes left in the season, and I believe that these last 6 episodes they're not all as good as Lies My Parents Told Me, but I feel like they are all superior to what we have seen thus far in season 7.
I'm going to reserve my opinion on that until I watch them, because I don't
until I view them.
until I watch them, because listen, I didn't go into this season openly being like, man, this season sucked. This is going to be awful. Like, that is something that has gradually happened over the course of rewatching or revisiting, as we don't want to, no copyright infringement, anybody.
Right. Kyle, we know you're a lawyer. Don't sue us.
Right. So yeah, I didn't go into revisiting this season being like, man, this is going to be awful. Like, this season sucked. Like, that's something that's come about as the season has progressed, that I've been like, man, this season is a lot rougher than I remember. Like I said a couple episodes ago, it's the reverse of how I went into season 4. I went into season 4 being like, man, this is going to be rough. Like, this was a bad season. And that's not how it turned out for me. For me personally, during this revisit, I know your experience was different, but...
I went into season 4 dreading it, and I came out of it dreading it. That is, and as we said, I think we said this last week or maybe the week before, there were a surprisingly high number of quality episodes in season 4 that I don't recall being that good. But it was still season 4, and it still had all of my most hated things from the entire Buffyverse all in one season. So I just couldn't get past, because if you recall, I gave high ratings to the good episodes of season 4. But at the end of the day, I was still like, oh, this fucking season, bro. This fucking season over here. Especially with fucking Titty Floppy Drive, and he's the big bad of the season. And then she kills him with 3 episodes left in the goddamn season, and it's only like a 38-second fight, and she just wrecks him, and it's just like, this was rather stupid, So anyway, yeah. So how about we go off in the weeds and see if we can waste a little bit of time, James? Can't hear you, brother. I'm getting nothing. Yep, James is moving his lips, but no words are coming out. So I'm going to take over, and I'm going to talk about my testicle hair.
Anything now?
I hear you now.
Okay, beautiful.
Why does that keep happening?
I don't know. I do not know why that keeps happening.
That must be, possibly a demon.
It could be my device my computer may be possessed.
Okay. Well, we'll send someone by, and we'll do an exorcism.
Well, you're gonna have to do an exorcism on my computer.
Okay.
Do you have anything to go off into the weeds about on this?
I got nothing.
Nothing.
I got nothing.
I've got I bought some new candy today.
Okay, let's talk about that.
We got I got some cherry chocolate M&Ms. Cherry chocolate.
Okay. Okay. Is that so? That's like what? Cherry on the outside, chocolate on the inside, or?
I don't know. I don't know how it works. I haven't tried them yet.
Okay, so
we got some.
You're giving us no information. Okay.
Lemon meringue pie.
Lemon meringue pie. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. All right.
And then peanut butter cinnamon roll.
Now that's what the fuck I'm talking about, son.
Let's should we give them a try?
Well, you goddamn right.
Let's give them a.
I mean, if you're not going to share with everybody, at least let us live vicariously through your mouth fucking hole.
through my mouth hole. Let's see.
Yeah.
So when you try something new, like let's say you had these in front of you, would you like take a handful of them and try them?
No.
Or would you try one?
Yep. Yeah,
because
gotta have one.
That's how you discern the different flavors and
that's how you do with wine, etc. You have to relish and understand the flavors.
You have to let it breathe.
Exactly.
You have to let it breathe. All right, so here's
and this first one is what, James?
This is the peanut butter cinnamon roll, and they're all various shades of brown, which makes sense. Peanut butter cinnamon roll.
Okay. All right.
So
they could be little rat turds, but you know.
I've seen rat turds. These aren't rat turds.
No. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see.
Okay. James has placed it into his mouth, ladies and gentlemen, and currently he's masticating at a very normal pace, I would say. He's pondering the various aromas and tongueal titillations. Okay, he's giving a slightly thoughtful look.
Thinkful?
A very thinkful look he's giving us right now.
So, right off the bat,
okay,
you're hit with the cinnamon.
Okay.
Like right off the I'm gonna talk us through it. Another one.
Okay, here. Yeah, talk us through it.
So
yeah, you chew
right
it.
Off the bat.
You chew that thing.
Right off the bat, you are hit with that distinct cinnamon flavor.
Now, is it overpowering or is it correct?
No, it's correct. It hits you. It hits you right away, and then it slowly fades into the peanut butter.
Oh, okay.
The peanut butter flavor.
All right.
And then the aftertaste is a pleasant cinnamon roll aftertaste flavor.
Oh.
Yes.
You know, James, there have been times that I have considered like getting those cinnamon rolls that you get like out of the tube, out of the can, you know, and unrolling them and putting peanut butter between them before I bake them. So this may be the next best thing.
That could be. Or after you bake them, but before you drizzle on the cinnamon,
put the peanut butter on top.
A little layer of peanut butter on top.
Oh, sweet mother of God.
Yeah, so those are delightful. So
delightful. Okay. James has decided that the peanut butter cinnamon roll are in fact delightful.
Delightful, yes.
What about on our sliding scale of 1 to 5, James?
Ooh, You know, I don't think I'm gonna go 5 because
Okay.
listen, I gotta be honest. Like, peanut M and M's,
Uh-huh.
like those are a 5 to me, and I
Yeah, those are
don't.
pretty much the OG hand
Yes,
jobs.
sure. So I don't know that they live up to a peanut M and M, but
Okay.
or even, you know what? I'm gonna amend that. I'm gonna go almond M and M.
Ooh, yeah. No,
Yeah,
you lost
no,
me.
I love a good almond, but
Well, it's
um,
okay to be wrong.
so they don't live up to that. You know what? I'll you know, I'm gonna go back to peanut M and M as a number 5.
Thank
As a
you.
number 5.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Because I thought about it and I was like, you know what? If like I will consistently get a pack of peanut M and M's, I would not consistently get a pack of almond M and M's. Like I would grab one and be like, ooh. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I would say 5 is a peanut M and M is the high echelon end of M and M's for me. I'm gonna give this a 4. I'm gonna give this a
Okay.
4.
All right. All right. Hey, listen. Uh, it ain't easy getting a 4 on our show. So,
Right, right.
as far as I'm concerned, that's a win for the peanut butter cinnamon roll
Yeah.
M&M.
Should we try the cherry chocolate ones now?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How far are we into this at this point?
What do you mean?
How long have we been recording?
12 minutes.
Oh, we got plenty of time.
Right. Take your time there, my friend.
Right. I mean, anybody that watches or listens should know by now that they need, if they don't want to listen to the bullshit and get right to the episode, they got to fast forward.
Exactly.
A little bit.
Exactly.
Okay. So these are the cherry chocolate cupcake M&Ms.
Okay.
They are various shades of red.
I'll be honest. Let me before you pop the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say you are not gonna rate these as high
As
as
high.
yeah. I'm
I'm
gonna
a
say
big
these
fan.
are. I know that you're gonna say you're a big fan of cherry. I know, but I feel like these are probably gonna be just enough of a letdown that you're gonna dock them.
Okay, I could see that. I can
Yeah.
see that because as a person that does enjoy cherry flavored things, I get where you're coming from. Like I'm going to be more.
Since you
critical
are a
of it.
connoisseur of cherry flavoring, I'm going to say that this is probably you're going to like them, but there's going to be just enough of a letdown where you're going to say, "Gotta dock it."
Yeah, I can see. I see where you're coming from. Let's
Yeah.
let's give this first one a go here. Here we go.
Okay. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, he's placed the object into his face hole and is once again masticating. Now he's given a very pleasantly surprised look. The eyes are opening a little bit wider than normal. He is fondling his fingers. Now he's rubbing his nose. I don't know. Okay, he's trying.
Okay.
Oh, he's going for number 2.
I'm going to go for the second one, and I'm going to walk you through the flavor
Yeah.
profile, like
Easy
I did,
for you to say.
like I did the first ones.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
right off the bat,
Uh-huh.
you're hit with the cherry.
Okay.
But it is a cherry cordial flavor. Are you familiar with cherry cordials?
yes,
Like the Queen
I am.
Anne's?
I am.
That is what you're hit with. And that lasts throughout the entire tasting of the M&M. That is in fact the aftertaste that it leaves as well, of a cherry cordial, which I'm a fan of. You know, I'm gonna give these a 4 as well.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, James is once again labeling this new snack as a 4.
Yeah, that was
I'm surprised.
I am too. I will be honest with you. I am too. That was delightful. That was
Some might
delightful.
even say I'm flabbergasted.
Are you not a fan of cherry cordials? I noticed the look you gave when I mentioned that.
I'm really not.
No.
That's probably the one cherry flavor I like the least. So
Gotcha. Okay.
I'd be like, meh.
Okay. I understand. All right, now we've got the lemon meringue pie. Lemon meringue pie. Let's
Lemon meringue pie. Now,
sorry,
let me start while you're opening. Let me tell everyone, I am a lemon fanatic. I love lemon pie, lemon cake, lemon bars, lemon cupcake. I love lemon. However, I despise meringue because I feel like it tastes like burned hair and sadness.
Burnt hair and sadness.
Yeah, okay. So not a fan.
So we have them. They are. There's only 2 shades of yellow. Oh, you actually can't see it because of my lighting. Oh my goodness!
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, he has just broken everything.
There's been an M&M catastrophe! Oh my God!
Ladies and gentlemen, he has ruined everything. This entire skit is now ruined.
It's there. Oh, there you can kind of see.
Yeah, now I can. Yep.
They look white because my lighting is actually yellow.
Right.
But yeah, they're various shades of yellow. So let's give this first one a go.
Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. He's chewing thoughtfully. This is the first. He is like blown away by this, ladies and gentlemen, because he gave a look of holy crap. I just came in my pants kind of look.
I don't know if that was the look, but
it was pretty. You were like, oh.
We're gonna have to do a third one on this because I need to hold on.
All right, he needs to enjoy again. Okay, he's biting one in half is what he's doing.
Oh, okay. So this is interesting. You can't see it on camera. This M&M does not have your typical, like, you know how M&Ms have like a chocolate filling or a peanut butter filling or a peanut.
Sure.
And like the last 2 had fillings that were flavored the way they're supposed to be. Mm-hmm. This has a crunchy filling, like a wafer almost.
Like I was going to say, like some type of wafer.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. Now let me grab another one so I can walk you through the flavor profile.
Take us through.
It's just an excuse to eat more M&Ms, but whatever.
Right.
So, right off the bat, you're hit with that crunchy. You're not biting into it expecting to get that crunch, that kind of crunch.
Right.
And then a flood of lemon. No meringue. No hint of meringue.
Oh, good.
A flood of lemon cascades over your taste buds and refreshes your palate.
Does it coat your tonsils?
It does.
Okay.
And it leaves a pleasant lemon. This is a 5, folks.
Holy shit. It's a 5, ladies and gentlemen. A fucking 5. Now, everybody should know how difficult it is to get a 5 on this show.
Yeah.
So that's saying something.
That is becoming part 1 and part 2 level.
Ooh.
That is.
So you did.
You
did complete in your pants then.
No.
Oh, no.
If
he doesn't have pants because he doesn't have pants on. That's why.
Dude, if I randomly completed in my pants, the look would be.
Or would the look be?
No.
Or would it be?
What the hell just happened? No. Wow.
No.
Wow. No.
Okay.
What? Yeah. That my friend. Mm-hmm. Go down the street to the Kroger. See if they have these. I recommend trying all 3 of them. Let me know
I've never seen a selection of different M&Ms at my Kroger.
So these were up front by the registers, like a table all their own. So So now go ahead. I'm sorry.
What store did you purchase yours at?
The Jewels. The Jewels, as we call it here in Chicago.
I'll probably have to go to. Yeah, I'll probably have to go to Kroger. Probably won't. Kroger has a horrible selection of candy. Like You go up to the aisles, and there's like just the basic bullshit, and it's not even king size. It's like, oh, regular size Snickers bars, $11. You know, those kind of things. So
Yeah.
I'll have to go somewhere that's got a little bit better
Yeah.
candy
Maybe
stock.
maybe the Walmart.
Maybe the
how's
Mart
your
of
Walmart?
Walls. Maybe
How's
the
your
Mart of
Walmart?
Walls.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, these were up on a display, all their own near the registers. I would recommend trying them. I think you, being a lemon lover, I think you will really enjoy that lemon one in particular.
Yeah, I would certainly, if I find them, I will certainly purchase a satchel of those. And I will also purchase a satchel of the peanut butter cinnamon roll. But the cherry chocolate, yeah, I'll probably pass on those. Can't hear you again, brother. Now you're not muted.
I'm okay now.
Yeah. I think you keep clicking the mute button because it'll show
Maybe. Did it
mute.
show mute? Maybe.
Yes, it showed
Maybe.
mute, and plus I always hear you clicking around with your mouse, and all of a sudden you have no sound.
Gotcha.
So let's go ahead and stop fucking doing that. How about that?
Let's move that over there.
There's some type of a buzz, a squeal happening now. Can you hear that?
I cannot, but let me see if I can. Is that better?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
That took it away immediately. Whatever you did.
Okay. Good.
All right.
All right. That's all I have for Into the Weeds this week. How about?
Well, hey.
How about you?
That was 22 minutes, so I think that's good, James. And this has been M&M Talk with James and Jeremy. Ding.
Ding. Nice.
James.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you taste test us some dates and deets for this week's episode?
All right. As previously stated, we will be. What? I'm sorry. How are we going into this week's episode again?
Revenging it.
Revenging. Yes, we will be revenging our way into the 17th episode of the 7th season of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the 139th episode of the series overall, Lies My Parents Told Me. Our episode credited writer this week is David Fury with Drew Goddard, and our credited director is also David Fury. Our original broadcast air date, March 25th, 2003, on the now defunct UPN network. Our Nielsen rating for this episode, 2.3, ranking it 103 out of the 118 primetime shows airing across network television that week, and number 5 out of the 11 primetime shows airing on UPN that week. Our regular cast as always includes Sarah Michelle Gellar as Buffy, Nicholas Brendan as Xander, Emma Caulfield as Anya, Michelle Trachtenberg as Dawn, James Marsters as Spike, Allison Hannigan as Willow, and our guest stars this week include Anthony Stewart Head as Giles, Tom Link as Andrew, Lyria Lemon as Kennedy, Indigo as Rona, Caroline Lagerfeld as Anne, K.D. Albert as Nikki, D.B. Woodside as Principal Wood, Damini Roberts as young Robin Wood, and Juliet Landau making her triumphant return as Drusilla. I know you are so happy about it, Jeremy.
Oh, I like daisies. I like to plant them, but they always seem to die. Fuck Drusilla.
Wow. Where was I? Okay. My episode synopsis this week reads, let me grab this. Robin Wood seeks revenge on Spike for killing his mother nearly 30 years ago, whilst everyone else tries to find out how the first has control over him.
Oh my. Mine reads, while Buffy attempts to figure out the secret behind the first's control of Spike, Principal Wood asks Giles to help him destroy Spike for good.
Okay.
Oh my.
I mean, talk about burying the lead.
Well, yeah.
Jeez.
Both of ours kind of did there, honestly.
That's true. That's true. We open 1977, the mean streets of New York. Spike is fighting Slayer Nikki Wood in the rain, Central Park, at night.
In the rain. Oh, you said the rain, sorry.
I said in the rain. Jesus Christ. You ruined the whole flow now, man.
Well, that's kind of what I do. I always ruin the flow. What?
Little Robbie Wood is watching from behind a park bench as Spike and Nikki,
and he's like so annoying in this. I'm sorry. Go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
As Spike and Nikki battle one another. Spike gets the upper hand on Nikki. Spike gets the upper hand on Nikki, and just as he may be about to deal the killing blow, little Robbie knocks over a trash can next to a bench, distracting him, giving Slayer Nikki enough time to break free of Spike's grasp. At which point, Nikki launches a stake at Spike, and Spike catches it in between his hands.
Yep. He pulls the Duncan MacLeod maneuver.
He Duncan MacLeods it.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells Nikki that he's not ready for the dance to be over yet. And he doesn't believe she is either. At which point he hops onto a bridge, and then as he's getting ready to jump off the bridge, he turns back to her, tells her they're going to see each other again, and says, "Love the coat," and jumps off into the darkness. At which point Nikki runs over to little Robbie and tells him, and then little Robin asks if it's time to go home, and she tells him it's not safe there anymore, and she's taking him to stay with Crowley, her watcher. And little Robbie says he wants to stay with her, but Nikki is adamant that he has to go stay with Crowley, because even though she knows that she loves him, the mission is what matters. At which point we cut to present-day Sunnydale, and we see grown-up Robbie and Buffy and Spike fighting a group of vampires. Spike and Buffy kill their vampires, but another vampire has knocked Robin to the ground, and just as he's about to deal the killing blow, Spike saves Robin by staking the vampire from behind and helping Robin to his feet. Robin gives him a thank you, and Spike says, "Just a tip, mate. The stake is your friend. Don't be afraid to use it." And as Spike turns around, we cut to Principal Wood and tighten in on his angry face, and he mutters, "Just waiting for my opportunity." And we slowly pan down to his hand, which is...
And he's masturbating feverishly. No.
Which is gripping the wooden stake so tightly, his hand is bleeding. And that's our cold open. Wolf Howl, roll credits.
He's gripping his penis so tightly that it's bleeding.
No.
Euro minutes?
Probably.
Okay. All right, my bad. Really quickly here, James.
Yes, sir.
I want to jump back. Is it just me?
Reality?
I want to snap back to reality. Yo, there goes Rabbit. Is it just me, or is Nikki Wood a really shitty fighter?
No, I thought it was a pretty good fight, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, Spike clearly had the upper hand, but I thought it was...
When does Spike ever have the upper hand unless the person's a bad fighter?
I don't... So, here's the thing. You keep mentioning, like, Spike being inept and everything. And while I'm no fan of Spike, I don't believe that Spike is a bad fighter or is inept. I think that he has been portrayed that way because we are, as the audience, as fans, are supposed to believe that Buffy is just the end-all be-all of the Slayers.
Yeah, but we see Spike get the shit kicked out of him all the time.
Only by Buffy and Angel. And again, I think that's because we're supposed to believe that because they're the heroes.
I don't know. I feel like Spike has been beaten up by a lot more than just those two. But also,
because Spike, like, spoiler alert, Spike hands Robin's ass to him later in this episode.
Well, he's a goddamn vampire, and Robin of Locksley's just a fucking goofball.
Yeah, but I think that's all it is. I think whenever we see Spike in a fight that isn't with, like, Buffy or Angel, it's not as... Spike doesn't have Spike always has the upper hand in those fights because as the audience, we are supposed to be immersed in this idea that Buffy is the Slayer, the end-all be-all of Slayers. Like, she is just the best that's ever been in the game. That's my take on it.
But let's set that all aside. I'm just judging Nikki by the fact that she's not good. She does some flourishes and some fancy-looking stuff, but she's very inept. And I blame Crawley. I don't think he's trained her very well. She's just not good. The fight does not last that long, and Spike has barely broken a sweat. And at one point, he just grabs her from behind, and he could have sunk into her, and that was game over. And little Robin of Locksley had to knock over a trash can to save her fucking life. And it's just, I don't know, bro. I just don't think Nikki was very good.
Well, I'm not going to yuck your yum. I'm not going to shit on your opinion. Like, that's
goddamn right you're not.
that was your takeaway. Like I said, my takeaway is you said the fight was short. Well, we open on the fight. We don't know how long the fight's been going on.
It was literally the first punch.
I don't think that's probably accurate.
It could be, though.
It could be, but I don't think that's the case.
Could be. Same.
But I thought it was a fair, like, yes, Spike got the upper hand, and did have an advantage throughout the part of the fight that we saw. But again, I think that's just to raise the idea that Buffy is, like, the Slayer. Like, she's...
Also, why is Nikki rolling around town at night as the Slayer with her son, with her like 7-year-old son?
That is a valid question. That I don't know. Like, why didn't she leave the kid with Crowley in the first place? Unless she was just out with him for some reason and Spike attacked.
Better yet, why would she should have immediately had an abortion when she became pregnant.
Maybe she wasn't the Slayer when she got pregnant and had the kid.
Okay, fair enough. I did bring that point up last week, so fair enough to that. But then once she became the Slayer, she should have taken him to an orphanage. She should have. It would have been safe. Like, her life is no type of life to have a goddamn child in. That's insane.
Well, I mean,
at the very least, he should always be with Mr. Crowley there while she's doing her poor representation of Slayer fighting. I'm just saying.
I'm not disagreeing with that. Like, if she's going to be patrolling or whatnot, then yeah, the kid should be...
No, she just shouldn't even be in public, period, with a child. She's the Slayer. Some shit can go down at any moment.
Well, I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that.
That's because you're wrong.
Who knows? Maybe they were coming home from... I don't know. But
that poor bastard should have been given a proper chance to grow up normal. He should have been taken to a Catholic nunnery.
Wow.
And that's that. So we cut to the high school, and Buffy, Giles, and Robin of Locksley are discussing what they know about Spike. Well, really, Buffy and Giles are discussing Spike's trigger. Wood doesn't know like anything, so like they're having to explain everything about like from the chip to this trigger, like they're having to explain everything. Please stop looking at your watch. And they're having they're
no, it's good. It's good you called me out because I've deliberately, like, I've started leaving my phone. So when we started recording this season, leaving my phone all the way on the other side of the room so that I'm not compelled to look at incoming messages and that kind of stuff. So I'm glad you called me out.
Well, from now on, take your watch off too, and put it around your penis. So the what?
It's not big enough.
Oh, how did I know you were going to go there? How did I know?
No, my penis isn't big enough.
Right. That's what. Well, yeah. That's what. Yeah. We know. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So they're having to explain everything about Spike to Wood. Basically filling him in on everything, and
this is kind of a funny scene. It's very like Abbott and Costello. Who's
exactly.
On first. Yes.
Exactly. It is very well done. It really is. It's kind of it's well written and well acted. So yeah, it is good. But I'm not going to go through it verbatim, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're having to explain everything to him, and he's just kind of like he can't keep up. Even as a viewer who we know all this stuff, and I'm thinking, wow, you guys could not have explained all this more poorly than you're doing right now. Like, I would be confused too. And then they're basically telling him about, how the first had basically programmed Spike with some type of post-hypnotic suggestion, but they don't know, and even Spike doesn't know what the post-hypnotic suggestion is, because that's how post-hypnotic suggestions work.
Right.
Right. That's how we have, fucking Manchurian candidates.
Right, I was just going to say, that's how we have sleeper agents and
right.
the government. And
exactly. So
it's why when I say the word Frito fart, you start quacking like a duck. Yeah. So she wants to so they need to find out what the trigger is. By the way, these notes are fucking wrong if you're looking at them, James. I wasn't right now, but go ahead.
If you read through that paragraph, you'd be like, no, that definitely, they did not know that at this point. Because it says in the notes that how does it say that?
So in the scene, Buffy does say that she's pretty sure that it's a song that triggered Buffy.
Oh yeah, but she didn't know what it was. But it was
right.
something he would start singing, and she's like, "But I can't remember what it was." Blah blah blah.
Right.
So they need to find it out for sure. Buffy wants to find out how to basically get rid of the trigger, turn it off. But Giles just doesn't even want to fuck with it. Like, and this makes no sense to me because Giles is supposed to be a very pragmatic individual. Knowing that they are facing what could possibly be their worst enemy ever, Giles is like, well, let's get rid of Spike. And I'm like, is that really a general / pragmatic move, considering he's probably, at the least, he's a rook or a bishop on your board? Why would you want to get rid of him? Like, are you stupid? So I have a bit of problem with the writing in that regard for this episode. But yeah, he's just all about fuck Spike. We got to get rid of Spike. And I'm like, that seems stupid. Meanwhile, the Scoobies go to the basement in Buffy's crib, and they have all gathered there now, including Robin of Locksley, they're chaining Spike up, and he's like, yo, I dig this, but can everyone else leave? And Buffy, take all your clothes off. And she's like, well, okay. And then she's like, I mean, no, no. And he's like, too late. You said okay. And she's like, damn. Yep, I have to live up to my word.
She never promised. She just said okay.
True.
So, listen, it's okay to say no after you've said yes.
Is it?
Yes.
But isn't that how people go to jail?
What do you mean?
Like, you're like, yes, it's fine. And then midway through, you're like, no, stop.
Then people, that's how people go to jail. If when the other person says no, stop, they don't stop.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you were just going to say that if a person midway through says no, I don't actually want this, then you go to jail.
Oh no! Well, I mean, maybe I'm sure in some cases that has happened, but I think
that's not right.
I think it's more likely that you're going. I don't even think it's definitely more likely that you're going to jail if someone midway through says, "You know what? I changed my mind. Stop," and you don't stop.
Well, yeah, yes. Yeah, duh. I mean, God, what am I, a fucking James Mayberry? I mean, I get that.
No, what?
What?
So why would you say that?
I don't even know I don't even know what that name is. So where the fuck was I at? Okay, yeah. So they're chaining him up and they're explaining that Giles has this stone. It's called the prokaryote stone, something like that.
Yeah.
And it looks like a kidney stone. Although, come to think of it, if that were a kidney stone, you would be dead. Or your penis would be destroyed. It's just this little gnarled up looking. It actually kind of looks like a petrified little dingleberry, honestly.
It looks like a cat turd. It looks like a petrified cat turd.
Right. And Spike's all like, what are you going to do with that? And they're like, well, we're going to stick this in your brain. And very rightfully so, he's like, fuck that. Like, I've had something in my brain for a few years now, and let's not do that. Let's do any other thing except that. But Spike, being the great guy that he is, he agrees. And Willow comes over because he's like, how are you going to even get that in my brain? And they're like, well, we're going to take an axe and we're going to smash part of your skull out. We're just going to stuff it in there.
Drop it right in and it'll do it.
He's like, really? You can't at least call the flower shop again and just have them put it in? And Giles is like, well, I mean, we could, but I don't like you, so I want this to be painful.
This is going to be more fun for me this way.
Right. It's more fun for me if we do it this way. And Spike is like, you know what? You're an asshole, but I respect the shit out of you for that.
I respect your honesty, Rupee. So let's
that is the way I would also operate. So
right.
I respect the shit out of you for that.
I respect that. So let's get this done.
Sharpen that motherfucking and bury it in this cranium. No, Willow comes over. She's going to perform a spell, which is going to basically liquefy the stone, and then Giles holds the thing right by his face, and the liquefied stone goes through his eyeball into his brain box. At which point, he's like, well, how do I know when this thing starts working? And he's hallucinating. Whatever you're doing, stop doing that because it's squealing again. Can you just like not click stuff now? And just stop? Just stop. Whatever you're doing.
Did the squealing stop now?
Yes. In fact, go back to just looking at your watch.
No,
because that doesn't affect us.
I can't not click on things because like most of the time I have the Zoom thing up so that I can see you while you're doing your part of the revisit, but occasionally I need to go back to the notes so I can keep up with where you're at.
Oh, well, just listen, just be better, okay?
I'll do my best. I'm
Just be
sorry.
better. Just be better. Uh, oh yeah. So he's now reliving a past memory where he is reading. So this was prior to him being made a vampire, and he's reading some really bad poetry to his mother, his sickly looking mother, by the way.
Is it bad poetry though?
Oh, dude, it's horrible. Like, have you read? Have you looked up the? Like, have you read the? Oh, dude, it's so bad. Seriously, like it's
I
purposefully bad.
I know. I'm just being a
Oh,
dumbass.
okay, yeah, it's really bad. But his mother's like, "Oh my god, that is phenomenal, honey bunny." And he's like, "Thank you, pip pip." And um, yeah, so she's clearly sick, as she's clearly has the consumption. Um, as once again, we can't hear you. You've clicked something again. Um, uh, there you are.
For some reason, it seems like whenever I don't know why it's doing it all of a sudden, but it's like whenever I click over to look at the notes, for some reason, it's I don't know what's going on.
How
I'll have
about
to look
this?
at it during the break.
How about making it side by side on the screen? Notes, Zoom screen.
I could do that. I'm worried though that it's going to change because when I do that on mine, it changes the zoom view to like me on top and you on bottom, and I
No,
don't know if
I
it's
don't.
gonna,
I'm not a bottom.
and I don't know if it's going to record that way. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
strictly a top, James.
I've heard.
I've heard. I've heard. We had this discussion group where we talk about that. Um, yeah. Well, just do better. I don't know what to tell you. Uh, get your shit together, bro.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Hey, here. I got a suggestion. Get it. Why don't slap another monitor there?
It's not big enough for another monitor.
Well, I've heard that about you before, but
I think what I might
we have a discussion group where we talk about that.
I think what I might end up having to do, if this keeps being an issue, I can't figure it out. What I might end up having to do is use my tablet for the notes, and then so that I have you.
Well, you could just do what I do and use your phone.
I could, I guess.
God, I mean, honestly, James, get your life together, man.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But what started this all anyway is you said obviously she's got the consumption, and that's exactly what I said to Darlene when we were watching. I was like,
we were just talking about that when you were here last.
Yes, I was like, well, clearly she's got the consumption.
Clearly, the consumption has gotten her. FYI, that's what they used to call tuberculosis back in ye olden days.
Ye olden days.
So, because she coughs into a hanky and there's blood, clear sign of the consumption.
Yes.
So anyway, then this is a little bit weird. This is so strange to me, and I thought maybe I'm just missing something. I don't know, but I'm going to ask James about this. But she's like, sit down with me for a while, honey, and blah blah blah. So. She's sitting on like a love seat, right? Whatever they would have called those back then. Right. So he goes over to her, and he like gets down like a little boy and sits on the floor like up against her lap while she like pets his hair and starts singing this song to him. And I'm like,
right, yeah, and it starts knitting and singing the song.
Yeah, and I'm like, why?
I thought the same thing. And I almost said something to Darlene. I was like, "Why doesn't he just sit next to her on
like a grown up,
like that on whatever that long seat that she's sitting on?" Because I don't know if they called them love seats back then or not, but that's essentially what it is. But and I almost said something to her because I thought the same thing. I'm like, this is weird. But I think, and she made this comment when Spike sat down next to her. She goes, "Oh, Spike was a mama's boy," and I think that's what they were trying to get across. with him
Okay.
sitting down there like
Like a whipped little bitch.
at her feet. I think they were really trying to drive home this idea that Spike is a mama's boy.
Do you think he wanted to fuck his mother?
This comes up later in the episode, and
I felt like that was quite a leap on myself.
I did. Let's talk about that when it comes up later.
Okay. All right. So yeah, so she starts singing that song that has been triggering him, and then we fade back into reality. They're in the basement, and Spike, the trigger hits, and Spike loses his shit, and starts throwing furniture around, just willy fucking nilly throwing furniture around. Something flies across. It's like his bed. It flies across and fucking houses Dawn in the fucking dome. I'm like, oh, that's a concussion and probable CTE.
Yes.
And yeah, so eventually, he calms down and he kind of looks around like, what the fuck? And they're all like, that's what we were for. Like, what the fuck, bro? Meanwhile, upstairs, Willow has received a phone call from someone named Fred in Los Angeles. And Andrew
Yes, go ahead.
Andrew answers the phone when it rings, and he's like, Summers residence, this is Andrew. And then he pulls the phone down, and he's like, hey, there's a guy on the phone named Fred. He's a real effeminate talker. And then he just kind of looks around.
Sounds real effeminate.
Yeah. And God, I love Andrew. So Willow comes down the steps about that time to tell Buffy that she's got to bail, but that she'll be back within a couple of days, and hopefully she's coming back with good news. And I'm like, and then Buffy's like, well, okay, I really need you here, so let's hurry this up. No exchange, like, Buffy's just not like, what? Like, okay, where are you going? And what is so fucking important? She's just like, okay, well, see you in 2 days. Instead of being like, what is so important? We're in the middle of a fight of our lives that you got to roll for a couple of days.
Right.
You know?
And so my theory is that, and this is obviously completely canon, my canon in Buffyverse theory as to why that exchange didn't happen is because if Buffy knew what was going on in Los Angeles, even though what's happening in Sunnydale is happening, she would feel compelled to go to Los Angeles and help. So I think that's why I think that's why. I mean, we know that logistically the reason it doesn't happen is because two different networks. They don't want a lot of crossover between their shows, even though their shows set in the same universe. But
all they gotta do though is be like, Willow could be like, listen, Fred called.
Hold up. Don't give away too many spoilers about what's happening
No.
on Angel. Okay.
No, I won't. I'm not going to give away any spoilers.
Okay.
All I'm going to say was she could have said, yo, Fred called from the law and needs me, and that's something important. And I might get something in return that's going to help us. So, I mean, anything.
Yeah.
Well, she's just like, listen, I got to go for 2 days. And Buffy's like, listen, I'm not happy about that, but you keep me in the dark and you go ahead and go. Okay. And I'm just like, that is such a conversation that would never happen in real life.
Right.
Because the first thing the other person's going to say is, where the fuck are you going?
Right. Yeah, I get where you're coming from, and ultimately you're right. It could have easily been solved with Willow, like you said, just being like, listen, Fred called. They need some magical assistance with something in LA. I'm going to run over there for a couple days. I'll be right back. And Buffy could have been like, all right, I'm not thrilled with you leaving, but if they need help, go ahead.
Also, they're in Sunnydale. They're in Southern California. LA is not that far. Why does it have to take 2 days?
I don't know. Maybe Willow just doesn't know the extent yet of what it is they need.
I'd be like, listen, they need me to do a spell. I'm going to run there. It'll take me like half an hour to do this spell. It'll take me like an hour and a half to get there. Listen, I'll be back tonight. You know? Like, I don't know. Anyway, I'm nitpicking. I get it. I know, but that's what we do. Anyway, it's squealing again. Please stop. Whatever you're doing, let's not ever do that again. Robin of Locksley, as everyone leaves the basement, including Spike, Robin of Locksley chews on Giles' ear.
There is another scene that happens before this one that you're talking about that the notes have completely left out.
Start me on it. That should jumpstart my memory.
Drusilla and Spike.
Wait, that. Are you sure?
Yes. Yep, because that scene happens before Buffy unchains Spike, and they go upstairs, and Robin and Giles have their talk.
Okay, well then we'll just ignore that. So no, no. We go back to see in that same time period that Spike and Drew are now back at Spike's house again. You're left to assume like a week or so has passed between him licking his mom's feet and him being back here with Drusilla sucking on his mom's toe. It's all fucking yellow and fucking nasty.
Okay.
He's like chewing her toenails.
No,
he's like,
stop it.
He's like,
no. Okay, all right, I quit.
Ladies and gentlemen, James does not like feet or feet talk, so I try to do it as much as I possibly can.
I don't understand. Like, I don't understand how wiki feet is a thing. I don't understand
how
people
what?
With wiki feet.
Like Wikipedia?
It's Wikipedia for feet. It's like pictures and ratings of like celebrity feet.
How have I never heard... Dude, I have heard of everything that's insane and weird on the internet. How have I never heard of wiki feet?
Yes.
How have you heard of wiki feet? Because you hate feet.
That's probably why I've heard of it, because someone mentioned it one time,
and it's like your worst. It's like your worst nightmare.
That is the most horrid thing I can possibly think of.
You should go into your router settings and specifically block that IP address from ever loading on any device.
I do not. There's a lot of fetishes I don't understand, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And feet is, like, near the top of it. Like, I do not understand how people can be aroused by feet. It's just...
I don't either. I don't understand how they can be aroused by them, but I'm not creeped out by feet or grossed out by feet. I mean, feet are just feet. Like, who gives a fuck? But I don't understand how people can be like... Oh, look at that foot.
Right.
You know, like...
Right, like, I'm not grossed out by them either. Like, people wearing sandals and shit, like, I'm fine with that. But shit like that, like, people that, like, suck toes and, like, that kind of, like... what? No, why? Like, what? No!
They stand on that, and it sweats a lot.
Yes!
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
But would you suck on a toe before you would suck a turd out of somebody's butthole?
Yes, Jeremy.
Well, hey, I'm just saying, that's a weird-ass fetish, too. That's a weird fetish, too.
If someone was like, suck a turd out of this asshole or suck the toe, I would be like, give me those little piggies.
But wait a minute. What if it was Rob Schneider's toe?
That would never happen. You're being absurd.
But what if it was?
You're being absurd.
What if it was Rob Schneider's toe, or God damn it, I don't know like any. you've never told me like, oh, I find so and so famous woman really attractive. So now I can't. You sack of shit. All right, you win this round, Batman. We will meet again.
We will meet again.
Okay, so yeah, they're back at the crib. Clearly Spike has just been turned by Drew within the last day or so, maybe few days.
Yes.
And he's all like, I love this. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna burn London to the ground.
We're going to Europe.
Lay waste to Europe. Me, you, and Mom are going to have the time of our lives. And Drew suddenly becomes not crazy.
Drusilla gets this look on her
She
face.
even loses her accent. She's like, wait, what the fuck did you just say?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. The look on Drew's face, and like she loses all the crazy, and she's like, fuck me?
And she even says the funny thing, I think. She goes, and he says, yeah, me, you, and Mom. And she's like, you want to bring your mom with us?
Yes.
And I was like, and he still don't get it. He's like, well, yeah. And she's like,
yes.
She looks him dead in the eye and she goes, dude, that is so gay. And he doesn't, I don't know, it's just hilarious.
Yeah, she's like, that's gay, bro.
Yeah, it's just so funny because it's just like all the craziness from her drains away. She goes right into an American accent. And she's like, what the fuck did you just say?
Yeah, she's like, the fuck you say?
Yeah, the fuck we are. Like, I didn't make you and your mumsy.
Yeah, and then at one point, he's like, he tells Drew, he's like, when she's like, you want to bring your mum with us? And he's like,
yeah,
he's like, yeah, you'll love her. And she goes, to eat, right?
Right. You mean we're gonna eat her, right? And he's like, no, she'll be one of us. And she's yes. Like, the fuck she will be.
It's hysterical.
Where? Let's see. I have lost. Wait. Here we go.
Well, we're still in that scene because then his
I know because then his mom shows up and like right on cue, and she's looking pretty rough. The consumption is about to consume her. Let's just say that. And she's like, William, where have you been? I have been worrying about you for ages. And he looks at Drew and he's like, never mind. I do not want to turn her. Let's eat her.
Well, we're not. Yeah, let's just eat her.
Let's just eat this bitch. No. So basically, long story short, he turns mumsy. Well, he's hugging her closely and everything, and he vamps out and he's like, it'll only hurt for a moment. And he lovingly pulls her collar away, and he goes, and then he bites her. Because clearly he wants to fuck his mother, as we're led to believe.
We'll talk about that in a little bit when we talk about that scene.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm just saying this is clearly what they wanted us to believe. Talk amongst yourselves. I had to pick something up off the floor. So
get your life together, man.
We are so professional on this show. I love it. So he puts the bite on her, and then we cut to Giles and Principal Wood. Well, they're talking about Spike. Well, first of all, they're jerking each other off. But you can only slightly tell because the camera's like from chest up height on both of them, but they're like locked onto each other on each other's eyes, and they're each kind of like going.
Jesus Christ.
And then Wood's like, and then you see Wood go, we need to get rid of him, and Giles is like, do we? Wood like tilts his head and like spits down,
Oh,
and then
Jesus.
you hear like,
Oh my God.
and he's like, "We really do." And then Giles is like, "What'd you
He's
have in
like,
mind?"
right,
And
Giles
then
is like,
Wood's head slowly disappears from screen, and Giles is like, "Oh."
Giles is like, what do you propose? And
He's
Wood's
like,
like,
"Let me show you."
no, Wood's like, we have to kill Spike. And then Giles is like, is that all? Shouldn't we talk about it a little bit longer?
And then and then and then Robin of Loxley, see, fuck you. This is what you get for egging me on. And then Robin of Loxley is like, I think we've talked enough. And then you see his head slowly go to, and you just see Giles' eyes roll back in his head. And, or, that, listen, that could have just been the Euro scenes version, the Euro
I
minutes
think
version.
it might have been the Euro
But
minutes.
I can see that happening. Listen, Principal Wood, he's a perfectly handsome man. Giles, he's got that whole, salt and pepper,
Silver Fox thing.
whatever
Going
thing
on?
going on for him. Yeah, Silver Fox. That's what I was looking for. And maybe they're, listen, they're just a couple of guys exploring. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Although
You know what I think is funny?
Robin
You
of
can
Loxley seems to be really good at this.
You know what I think is funny? This is kind of a
What?
side tangent. I feel like you can tell when we liked an episode more because we tend to joke around and get and like be be
Jovial.
be weird for
Yeah.
lack of a better term.
Yeah.
When we like an episode than when we don't like an episode.
Yeah, because when we don't like an episode, all of our off-topic stuff is just absolutely shitting on it.
Yes.
Or like talking about, like, can you believe how fucking dumb this scene is?
And it just dampens the mood in general when it's a bad episode. So you're just like, let's just get this over with.
Right. So, sorry, hang on, my eyes are itchy. Basically, Wood seemingly convinces him because he says, well, what do you have in mind? And Wood is like, listen, all I need for you to do, and this is while he's slowly taking down each button of his shirt. He's like, all I need for you to do is distract Buffy for a couple of hours, and I'll take care of the rest. Giles should have immediately been like, bro, that's not a good plan. You can't take Spike. You don't have it. You're just Robin. Like, you don't have any. I don't care how well fucking trained you are, bro. You don't have anything. Like, you're a limp dick in a going up against, a goddamn vampire.
Yeah.
You would think. I'm just saying, you would think Giles would be like, I'm gonna need a little bit more if you want me to help you try to pull this off. You're gonna need a little better plan, not the leave it to me, I'll handle it. I'm gonna need a little more.
Right.
Like, if we're gonna do this, I wanna know that it's gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Right.
so Giles is like, okie dokie. And where do we go to next, James?
Well, we cut to
Reality?
yes, we snap back to reality.
Oh, there goes Rabbity. Oh, sorry.
So we cut to one of Sunnydale's many cemeteries, and Giles has taken Buffy on patrol. He's also told her that it's kind of a patrol / training session to impart more of his teachings upon her. And he kind of starts asking her questions about, um, well, okay, so he's gotten her under the pretense that it's a training session, and he tells her basically like they're going back to basics, and at that point a hand comes jutting out of the ground in a grave, a new vampire.
And what's funny is it just shoots up out of the dirt, and he just goes,
yeah.
Straight to, and they're just like, "Whoa, dude!
Whoa, dude!
You don't even fucking know us, like,
right? Like,
I mean, what the fuck, bro?
That is uncalled for, dude.
Uncalled for. He's like, you know what, Buffy? Let's go. We don't have to. We don't have to put up with this.
Right.
We're not even going to engage you, Mr. Vampire.
Right. So, and as they're having this brief conversation before that, Buffy is also like, well, I also don't like the idea of being away from Spike and having Robin watch him at his place. At which point we cut to Robin unlocking a lock to what appears to be a garage. And Spike is like, you live in a garage? And
Robin's like, dude, I'm a high school principal. How much money do you think I make?
Right.
I'm in L.A., I'm outside of L.A., I'm a high school principal, so I have, I live in...
Right.
What kind of mortgage do you think I can afford, bro? Like,
right.
Why are you bringing me down?
Right, I freelance as a demon hunter. Like, what the fuck do you think? Why are you trash talking me like this, dude?
Yeah.
You already killed my mom, and now you're gonna talk shit to me about where I live?
Yeah, and Spike's like, I killed who?
I killed.
And he's
him.
Like, what?
Never
I don't.
mind.
Nothing.
We're gonna roll into that in a few minutes here.
Yeah.
Let's just rewind.
Yeah, let's rewind. Listen, that was OOC.
That was, yes. So and Robin's like, oh, it's kind of like my sanctuary, and they walk in and it's dark, and
he's like, well, go ahead and I'll break in, but go ahead.
Okay. They walk in and it's dark, and you hear Wood like closing the door and relocking it from the inside, which right off the bat,
is
like,
immediately I'd be like, whoa, if you are taking your fucking pants off right now, dude, we're gonna have a problem.
If I was Spike, I would be like, whoa. Listen, I don't know you like that, bro. I'm not opposed to it.
I'm not saying no. I'm just saying this is a weird way to fucking offer.
Right. I'm not saying no. I've been around for a long time. Been around the block a few times. I'm okay with this sort of thing. I'm just saying we don't know each other like that.
Right. And when he turns the lights on, he does finally turn, because I'm thinking, how long are we going to sit in this dark? It takes forever for him to turn the light. I'm like, how long before this gets really fucking uncomfortable?
Right.
Well, we find out pretty quick, because he finally turns the lights on, and he looks exactly like Buffalo Bill from fucking Silence of the Lambs. He has the wig on, the fucking negligee house coat. He has his shit tucked, and he's putting fucking chapstick on. And Spike's just kind of standing there looking at him strangely, and he's like, what's this about?
and then like Spike thinks for a minute, and then he's like, do we have ourselves the Buffalo Bill situation here?
Right. And then Principal Wood is like, what's Principal Wood say, James?
Principal Wood is like shocked that Spike gets the reference, and he goes back to being Robin, and his shit flies out. Like, he is immediately untucked, and he's like, that's exactly what's going on here, dude. Like, I'm so glad you got the reference.
Yeah. He's like, that's all I wanted out of this.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah, he's like, you can go.
You can leave. Yeah. And
no,
the episode just ends.
It just right to credits.
No, there's crosses literally peppering every part of the walls, and a Mac sitting on like a card table.
A
Like in the back.
2003
Yeah, right.
because Buffy also has one in her office, so clearly Apple was a sponsor. And
So,
every time we see Willow's laptop, it's also an Apple. So
um, so yeah, like there's crosses like peppering every inch of the walls in this place, and Spike is like, "The fuck is going on here?" And Principal Wood's like, "I told you, man, it's my sanctuary." He's like, just stay away from the walls, and you should be okay." That's literally what he says to him.
yeah, and Spike's like, "Yeah, I know that. I'm just wondering why some of these crosses look highly well done, and then other ones look like literal sticks you got out of your yard and glued together." Like he's like, "Couldn't you just spring for a few better crosses?" Like I don't understand
Right,
why some of these are so poorly done.
right. So he walks over to the computer and he's clicking around on it, and he's talking to Spike, and he's like,
James,
what kind?
James,
Yes, yes.
this is 2003. So, my very first thought is he on LimeWire at that very moment?
Nah, Napster.
No, it's 2003. It's too late for that.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Okay.
LimeWire.
Because
LimeWire.
what he's about to do, and I was like, why did he have to click so much, and why did it take so much time where he's talking and stalling? He's on LimeWire.
He's on LimeWire. Right.
He didn't plan this ahead very well because he should have
Right.
downloaded this track, ahead of time.
Right. And it takes even longer because the first couple of times he tries to download it, he gets a virus.
Well, yeah, and he has to reformat.
And he has to
Um,
reformat. And he's like, "So, Spike, tell me, do you knit? Are you into
And then he's
knitting
like,
at all?"
and then the third time he goes to download it, it's successful, and he's like, "Whew, finally!" And he opens it, and he's like, "Fuck! It's set for the fucking default program. It's QuickTime, and we all know it takes 3.5 hours for QuickTime to start."
Yes. Yes.
So
So then, yeah, he keeps going. He's like, "What about? Do you bake at all?
Yeah.
Are you into baking?"
and then he's like, he's like, so listen, Buffy said something about that you're into pegging, I think is what she said. And Spike's like, bro, that's private.
He's like, "You know what? I think I'm going to take off." And finally, Robin's like, "You know what? I don't think you are." And he plays the song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah,
song
no,
triggers Spike.
Yeah.
And on
yeah,
the trigger now, the trigger is really he just gets an instant erection for no reason, and he can't do anything about it.
Right. Right.
He's like, "Oh, it's hurting so much. These pants are so tight."
Right. And Robin's like, "You're not going to be able to call a doctor about that in 4 hours."
Right. He's like, "It's what's about to happen to you next. I just want you to know I don't take any pleasure in it. Right. But I do take a little bit of enjoyment and hilarity."
Right. No, he's talking to Spike, but while he's like bringing something up on the computer, and he's like, "What kind of man are you, Spike?" And Spike's like, "Well, I'm not much one for self-reflection." And Robin's like, "No, of course not." And there's some yada yada back and forth, and finally Principal Wood is like, "You killed my mother," and Spike's like, "Well, I killed a lot of people."
Spike's like, "I've killed a lot of mothers."
Yeah, yeah, and Wood's like, "Yeah, well, mine was the Slayer," and Spike's like, "Oh," he puts it all together, and he's like, "Oh, I get it. So you want to kill me? Da 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 da," and and Principal Wood's like, "I don't want to kill you, Spike. I want to kill the monster that took my mother away from me." And he clicks play on the song, and it's the
and of
song
course
that,
iTunes locks up, and he's like, "Hang on," and Control Alt Delete. He's like, "Son of a fucking task, goddamn manager, cancel." Goddamn, just hang on, Spike. God,
like, hang on, Spike. He's like, "Fuck, I can't wait till they invent Spotify." So he clicks on the song and it starts playing. It's that song, "Early One Morning." Anyway, and it of course triggers Spike, and they commence to fisticuffs.
Well, don't forget, Robin of Locksley slips on these like, I don't know, they look like they came out of the Beat It fucking video from the 80s.
He's got this one glove that's like, it's a brace that goes up to his elbow.
I'm like, what is that supposed to do?
And it's got like a bar across the fist, and then he puts on like these another glove that's like metal studded on literally every knuckle and up here. And like,
and one of the little studs is this tiny, tiny, tiny little penis.
Yes,
yeah. That's the one right in the middle.
He makes sure to hit Spike in the forehead with that one first. So all through the fight, Spike's just got this penis.
He's got a fucking mushroom. He's got a mushroom stamp right on his forehead. They're like Wolverine claws, except they're small, and then they just go ding, and they're little penises.
And they're just penises.
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm gonna fuck your shit up," ah! And then these tiny little penises come out.
And he's like, and when I say "fuck it up," I mean literally
fuck it up. He also like took his shirt off at one point.
That was rather, because he was talking like really low and calmly, and he's unbuttoning, and I'm like,
he's like, "What kind of man are you, Spike?" As he's taking,
are you the kind of man that likes this? And he like. He like exposes himself.
If I was Spike, I would have been like, "Again, dude, like, I'm okay with this, but we don't know each other like that.
Like, we haven't even had like you didn't even take me to the nice French restaurant that you took Buffy to.
Right.
What are we doing?
My oysters? How come you're not feeding me food right now? What is happening?
Right.
So they start to engage in fisticuffs, and Wood is beating the living hell out of Spike.
Breaks.
And as he is beating up Spike, we are cutting, also simultaneously cutting back to, you know what, forget that. We're going to talk about Buffy and Giles after I'm done talking about the Spike.
Yeah, I hate doing the back and forth scene thing, yeah.
So while Woods is breeding, oh my god.
Whoa! We know where your mind is now. Hey, everybody, we just found one of James's kinks. Breeding. No. While Robin of Locksley has Spike bent over and he's breeding that ass,
while Wood is beating the brakes off of Spike.
I prefer breeding.
Spike
that conjures much better and funnier mental images.
Spike is flashbacking again to the same time period that we saw in the earlier flashbacks, and he's coming home presumably after a night terrorizing with Drew, and he's all like, Mummy, where are you, Mummy? Mummy, where have you gone, Mummy? Mummy, I need you to come and wet me willy for little Willy. And she's like, oh, dude, why? Oh, I'm your mother. Sorry. And at which point his mom does come out from like another area of the house, and she's clearly, obviously healthy again because she's been made a vampire. And they start to talk, and Spike's like, we'll do whatever you want, we'll feast, and then the night is yours. And then his mother is like, dude, she's like, well, he said, so what do you want to do first? And she's like, well, take my leave of you. Yeah. And he's like, what? And then she proceeds to like lay into him about how she can't she's never been able to stand his poetry, and he's never let go of her apron strings, and she's like, I should have
when you slithered out of me, I should have had the courage to bash your skull in.
Yes.
I was like, damn,
yes. And then, she proceeds to be like, he's talking about how he's like, I've loved you, and at one point he mentions pleasure, and then things get really fucked up because she's like, pleasure, and then she talks about how all he's ever wanted was to be back inside of her, and like she like gets real close to him and is like looks like she's about to kiss him, and she's just basically making all these innuendos that all he ever wanted to do was fuck her. And I was like, Darlene and I, for one, were both like, ew, like this, what? but I'm like, and this goes back to something we started to talk about earlier. I was thinking to myself, like, this is a really big leap from like just being a mama's boy to like he wanted to fuck his mother. Like, what?
Yeah. I mean, I get what they were doing here, because he says to her, well, that's just the demon talking because you're trying to hurt me and piss me off. That's just the demon talking. So I get that, but it's just, it would have been fine if they had just left it where she's just being mean to him, and she's just like, right. I want to be away from you. You're a burden. You're annoying. You know, why did we have to go into the whole, and you can't fuck me? And it's, I didn't need that, James.
So they end up in a little scuffle, and she grabs her cane, and they're like going back and forth with it, and the cane ends up hitting the mantle
He's like,
of the fireplace.
Mommy.
And the cane ends up hitting the mantle of the fireplace, and they each end up with like a part of the cane, which is now a stake. And she looks at him and she grins and she goes, it'll only hurt a little bit, like mirroring what he said to her. And he goes,
and I'm like, what is she gonna do? Is she gonna like ram that up as like, what does she mean it's only gonna hurt? Like, I think
the implication was that she was about to stake him.
Oh, so she's been a vampire for like 4 hours and she already knows to stake another vampire to kill it. You know, I mean,
again, this goes back to the fact that we are led to believe in the Buffyverse that the way vampires work is that a demon takes up residence in this human body.
That's true. Okay. So, all right. Okay. Fair enough.
So realistically, by that theory, and this is something that's never covered, like a demon that takes over somebody's body could, in theory, be centuries old already at that point.
Well, I would assume most of them are, because we're led to believe that all demons have existed before man.
Right.
So, yeah, they're all pretty fucking old.
Which it's interesting that that's not something they ever really touched on in the show.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, Joss Whedon had other priorities, such as what we're going to see in this next episode with the opening scene there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. Anyway, so, and then Spike looks at her and he says, I'm sorry. And he stakes her and kills his own mother twice.
I told you wanted to be in me. And then she starts to dust, but then she comes back and she's like, bitch. And then she dusts.
Yes.
And he's like, damn it. How did she get the last one? God damn it.
Fuck. So at that point, we flash back to the current time, and Spike is he's just being pummeled by Robin, and he starts to mutter, "I'm sorry," and Robin is like, like what, like what, like.
Yeah,
And
it's like the Martha thing, bro. And I was like, oh.
Why did you say that name?
Why did you say that name? And he's like, I've always wanted to be named Martha.
Martha.
And he's like, oh. And he just kryptonite stabs him. He's like, that is so gay, bro. Like, I'm going to kryptonite stab you now.
So Spike's like, I'm sorry. And Robin is like taken aback, and he's like, what? And he stumbles away a little bit from Spike, and Spike repeats it. He's like, I'm sorry. And Spike gets up, and Wood's like, well, do you think I'm sorry is gonna fix what you did? Like, you took my childhood from me, and da 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 da. And Spike goes,
and Spike's like, wasn't talking to you.
Yeah, he's like, I don't give a piss about your mom.
Yeah. I don't give, but what he says, I like what Spike says in this whole. Long story short, he now takes over the fight and just absolutely fucking houses Robin of Locksley.
Right.
And he's expounding while he's doing it, and I love what he says. And there's no reason to try to do it verbatim, but he basically says, "Listen, your mom was part of the game. This is the game. She was part of the game." This is part of it.
I'm a vampire. This is what the fuck we do.
She could have just as easily killed me, except I won.
Right.
It was basically saying, listen, it wasn't like some personal vendetta.
Right.
Like I hated her or something. It's just, he's like, basically he's saying, listen, this is the real world. So,
right.
Quit being a little fucking cunt.
Yeah. He's like, she knew what she signed up for. And Robin is like, I didn't sign up for it, and Spike's like, so that's the issue here, like you're, you got a rough go of it, and it's my fucking fault, like what?
Yeah, he's like, listen, my mom truly loved me, but obviously yours didn't because she chose this fucking life over you.
Well, and that's what I was getting to. So, like, Spike finally, like, KOs Robin, and Robin's, like, laying on the ground, propped up against one of the walls, and Spike gets down next to him, and he's like, you know what? He's like, I want to thank you. He's like, because you helped me realize something. And he's like, I want to tell you a story about a mother and a son. And he's like, you see, I loved my mom. So much so that I turned her into a vampire. And he's like, she had
and
some
tried
nasty...
to fuck her.
No. He's like, and then he's like, she had some nasty bits to say about me, to say to me after that. And he's like, but I had a mother who truly loved me. And that was just the demon talking, when she said all those things. And I realize that now. And your problem is you didn't have a mother that loved you or really loved you. And Robin's like, you didn't know my mother. You don't know it. And he's like, and Spike is basically like, the mission was more important to your mom. Like, because Robin's like, my mom loved me. And Spike's like, not enough to give up the mission though, right? Yep. Like, the mission was more important to her than you were.
And she said that to him at the beginning of this episode when he was a little boy. She said, remember, Robin, it's all about the mission.
Right. And Spike is, as he's saying this, he's walking back over to the computer and like he clicks the song so it starts playing again and nothing happens. Like he's been de-triggered.
Yep.
And he's like that is a nice little tune, isn't it? And he walks back over to Robin and he's like, I forget exactly what he says to him, but he's like, I want you to remember that when I kill you.
Says, no. He says,
go ahead.
I just wanted to tell you that before I kill you.
right, because then he's like, well, you cured me after all, Doc. Thanks. And then that's when he's like, I just wanted you to know that before I kill you. And he vamps out and goes at Robin. Meanwhile, what's going on at the cemetery? And mind you, this is happening. This is being intercut with what's going on with Robin and Spike. What's happening at the cemetery, Jeremy?
Giles is wasting time, clearly, to keep Buffy at bay, to keep her busy. She's fighting that vamp, but he won't let her kill it yet. He's like, no, don't kill him. And basically he's just saying over and over again, it's all about the mission. You need to be a general, not just say you're a general, but really be a general. And she's like, I fucking am, bitch. And he's like, no, to be a real general, you have to be able to make the really hard decisions and blah, 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 blah. And they're going back and forth. And she's like, yeah, well, I have. And he's like, and yet Spike is still alive. And she's like, yeah, he's fucking different now. He has a goddamn soul. Why doesn't anybody understand this? This motherfucker has a soul. I can't just murder him for no reason, And, Giles is like, oh, but it's, for the greater good, blah, blah, blah. So Buffy finally realizes, oh, fuck.
Well, I want to point out here, too, that he talks about how she wasn't willing to sacrifice Dawn.
But that she would now.
Right, and he's like, but I think you would now. And Buffy's like, if it meant saving the world, yes, I would.
Yeah, she's like, because I've gotten to know her and I don't really care for her that much.
Right. No, he's like, but I think now after everything and you've gone through, you would make a different choice. And she's like, yes, to save the world, I would let Dawn die. And that's when Giles is like, and yet there's Spike.
Yeah, but in my mind I'm thinking, that's apples and oranges, Giles. There's no one saying, hey, in order to defeat the First and avert Apocalypse, all you have to do is kill Spike. Because guess what? She would have killed Spike because she did it with fucking Angel. Because that was the deal with Angel.
Right.
Either the world ends or you kill Angel, and she fucking did it. Like, she has proven herself plenty of times. So, in my opinion, this is the second time where I'm like, Giles, you are just straight up fucking wrong.
I do want to nitpick something you just said, and we may disagree on this, but I do think to some extent they have said killing Spike could help save the world because they are aware that the First has a plan for Spike. It just hasn't been his time yet.
But, as Buffy said earlier in the basement, that plan's not going to matter if we can turn this fucking trigger off. The only reason that the First has anything on Spike is because he's got a trigger embedded in him. So if we can turn the trigger off, then Spike is just simply our ally and, quite frankly, one of our most powerful fucking allies in a world of teenage girl allies.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm just like I said earlier, Giles is not being pragmatic. He's not being Giles-ish.
I think so. Man, I kind of disagree.
No, you do not disagree. You do not disagree because I will not accept it.
Because I think Giles is being pragmatic.
Nope, you're falling into the same trap that Giles himself fell into. Giles thinks he's being pragmatic, but he's not. He's working against his own best interest. Because at the end of the day, Ames J, the friend your friend of your enemy is your friend, and they have fuck all for allies at this point. You're going to take the second, probably arguably the second or third most powerful ally you have off the board because of a maybe or a what if. A pragmatic person doesn't do that. A pragmatic person says, that piece is staying on the board until I see it's a problem, and we'll deal with that when we get to it.
See, I kind of disagree. I think Giles is being pragmatic. I think Giles is doing exactly what you just said, in that he's like, we don't know how to get rid of this trigger. Spike was not being cooperative 100% at the time of trying to get rid of this trigger. I think had Spike been full open with them earlier on and opened up about why that song triggers him the way it did, and
he didn't know happened,
but because he wasn't letting himself at that point.
That's arguable. Ask people who have been truly hypnotically implanted with shit like that. Like, you just weren't being open enough to remember. Like, I'm just saying. And here's another thing. I'm just going to say one last thing, and then you can say whatever you want. Have you ever heard the term cutting your nose off to spite your face?
Yes.
That's what Giles is doing. And I rest my case, Your Honor.
And I disagree. I think Giles is being pragmatic. I think he's looking at it from the standpoint of this is a huge threat to us, and we can't figure out why he's able to be triggered this way. We need to take him off the board. Now, that being said, I do have opinions regarding this particular storyline that we can get into during our final ratings and reviews.
And, well, I know I said my last, but I'm actually going to say one more thing. I think Giles and you both think it's pragmatic, but what it actually is dogmatic. And I rest my case. Okay, so then Buffy realizes at this point that she's being fucked with. Because let's remember, this isn't the first time Giles has kind of fucked Buffy over and taken part in something to for nefarious reasons, and she realizes it. So she immediately dusts the vamp, and then she bolts to Robin of Locksley's castle. And upon arrival, by the way, we didn't talk about this, but when Principal Wood has the upper hand and he's got Spike KO'd, he takes the coat off, and I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna put the coat on, and then they're gonna go back. No, he just folds it up and sets it over on a chair.
Yeah,
and I'm like, why didn't you put it on?
Because that would have been awesome symmetry if Spike KOs Wood, gives him the final, like, whatever shit talk, like, I have to thank you after all, Doc, you did cure me, and then reaches down and takes the coat off of him the same way he took the coat off of his mother.
Yeah, and said something like, you have something of mine. You know, take it back. It just, yeah. But anyway, so Buffy arrives at Robin of Locksley's castle, and Spike is stepping out of the garage, for lack of a better term. And she's like, Spike, you're alive. And he's like, what? Come on. You think average Joe's going to kill me? I'm a fucking vampire. And he kind of lets the door open up, and Buffy peeks in and sees that Wood he's okay, he's alive, but he's fucked up. And Spike says, I gave him a pass. I gave him a pass on account that I killed his mother. But if he ever so much as looks at me funny again, I'll kill him. And he just turns around and walks away. And Buffy goes inside and, checks on Robin and, are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. And Robin's pretty good and fucked up. And she's like, listen, I want you on my side in this. What's coming up is big. She's like, but I don't have time for your vendettas, and I don't have time for plots against me and shit. She's like, if you ever try something like this again, Spike will kill you. And she's like, and I'll let him, because the only thing that matters is the mission. And Wood is like, oh shit, that's what my mom said to me when I was like 7. Yep. Huh, maybe I should have listened to her then. We cut back to the Summers residence, and Buffy is informing Giles that their plan. Giles is like, listen, I know you're mad, but you would have never let it happen otherwise. And she's like, nothing happened, bitch. Spike's alive and well. She's like, this is where she should have been like, you really thought some average Joe human was going to kill Spike? Come on. He just kind of tries to pick up from where they left off earlier in their discussion out in the cemetery. And she's like, no, you've said enough. And she just closes her bedroom door in his face. And that is the episode. Credits. Reverse wolf howl.
So, there was some dialogue that was cut from the final shooting script where Giles would have revealed to Buffy during that cemetery scene that he killed Ben. And
really?
And that's when Buffy would have realized that
Buffy had to have known. Like, she had to have known, because I'm saying deep down, like, even if it was subconsciously, because she tells Ben, leave or tell Glory that she better leave Sunnydale and never come back. Did she really think Glory was going to leave Sunnydale and never come back? You know what I mean?
Right. But would you like to hear what the exchange would have been?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, I do. No. I'm very interested.
So Giles, yes, and the first seems to be exploiting it to his advantage. Buffy, exactly. The first doing this. Spike's innocent. Giles, so was Ben. Buffy stops cold. The vampire launches at her and she whipstakes him to dust. Ben? Giles, he was a human being, after all. Forced his whole life to share his mortal form with a demigod from a hell dimension. Buffy, Glory, I know. What does that have to do? Giles, Ben was oblivious to the atrocities Glory committed. No more responsible for her crimes than Spike is for his when triggered. Glory was invincible, impossible to kill. Ben was not. So after you defeated her, after you left Ben lying there alive, I made a decision. One that you couldn't. Buffy, Giles? Giles, I put my hand over his mouth, and as he struggled weakly, I smothered him, because it had to be done. He was a liability. And that's when Buffy is like, oh, God, you've been stalling me. So.
Okay. I like that.
Keep in mind, you have to envision it being done between Ash and SMG.
Yeah. No, I like that, but and I'm sure they only cut it for time reasons, but I'm glad that it was cut, because what he said there was not accurate. Ben was not oblivious to the atrocities that
I agree with that point.
That Glory did. Also, I'm going to challenge the fact that Ben was innocent in any way, shape, or form, because he almost killed Dawn himself.
Yes. By the end of that arc, but the season, Ben was no longer just an innocent human.
Not even close, because had he been a courageous good guy, he would have offed himself years before this.
Right.
Like I'm going to end Glory before anything, I'm going to end
Yes.
me, therefore I'm going to end Glory. And he even says, I think to Dawn, yeah, I know I could do that, but I'm just too much of a coward, and I really want to live. And I'm like, well, then at that point, you have no redeeming qualities, and we need to kill you.
Right. Right. But I do agree with what Giles says, that Ben was a human, so Buffy wouldn't have been able to bring herself to kill him to stop the threat of Glory completely.
Yeah, and so Giles had to do it. Sure, I'm just saying, Ben, like, it shouldn't have been that difficult to do because Ben was far from fucking innocent.
Right. Right.
Like, far from it. In fact, he was so dirty that, Buffy should have been able to just off him herself, quite frankly. Because she has threatened humans before, like, I will fucking kill you.
But we know she wouldn't have, because she wouldn't have. Because
again, that's not being pragmatic, that's being dogmatic.
Right. Well, I mean, it's not me. That's Buffy. Like, Buffy in that case is being dogmatic.
No, yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that's the fine that's an example of the super fine line between pragmatism and being dogmatic. And people confuse them a lot, and they're like, "No, that is pragmatic," and I'm like, "I don't think that is, I don't think you're right there."
Jeremy, would
Yes,
you
sir.
like to play everyone's favorite game, Body Count?
Oh my god. What was the opening? Jesus Christ, I don't even 4.
Yes, 4.
Oh! I almost said 2.
2 vampires dusted by Spike, Spike's mom, and then Richard staked by
Oh
Buffy.
yeah, Little Richie.
Little Richie. Our music this week, Nana Moscuri with Early One Morning, and Robert Duncan with our original score. Jeremy,
Yes, sir.
could you please tell me and our lovely audience, on our sliding scale of 1 to 5, how many dead vampire mothers do you give this episode?
James, my friend, I am pleased and honored to say that I give this episode 4 slain turned vampire mothers. This is a good goddamn episode. Okay, I told you this before we started recording. We didn't do like a big, spiel about it, but I just said, James, the first thing that popped in my head when this episode ended was, now that was a fucking Buffy episode.
Yes.
Because everything up to this point in this season has been not a Buffy episode. It's been like I don't even know what, but yes, we are finally back, I feel, firmly in the Buffyverse. This episode basically had everything you want to have in a Buffy episode, including moving the main plot line forward, which I think the last, what is this, episode 17? The last 16 episodes have not really done. I think it took us to about episode 17 to finally move the main plot line forward. Yeah, it's got that. It's got it, dude. It's just great, dude. The Robin finally going for his revenge, but being soundly fucking whipped like a mule. I loved everything in this episode except I feel that and maybe they did this on purpose, or maybe even the writers were like how you believe that no, Giles is trying to be pragmatic here. He's not. He's being dogmatic. He has fooled himself into thinking he's being pragmatic, but he's not. He's trying to stick to a set of ideals. That's dogmatic thinking. And it's not pragmatic thinking is when you, well, I mean, it's a deep thing, but in a nutshell, pragmatic thinking is like saying, is when you say to yourself, I'll do what I gotta do, and I will lie in the dirt with the hooers if I must, to for the greater good. in other words. And Giles thinks, oh, killing Spike will be for the greater good. But it's not, because the greater good is having as many badasses as you can on your side when you're about to face the ultimate badass. So anyway, no, you can grimace and shake your head all you want, but you're fucking wrong.
See, this is all I'm gonna say. I disagree because I if they are unable to get that trigger if they're unable to get that trigger removed from Spike, he's a huge liability.
He's really, maybe, but liability does not factor into pragmatism. Pragmatism is, maybe he is a liability. When that trigger gets triggered, I'm going to turn him and point him towards the bad guys. He might do damage, but he's going to do damage to fucking everything. It's going to be like setting a fucking firework in the middle of a bunch of people. You know, that's pragmatism is what I'm trying to get through to you. That's dogmatism. He's not being pragmatic. And besides all that, let's just say this. The whole trying to deprogram Spike, they tried for literally 10 minutes. Literally. And it's like, okay, I'm willing to concede to you, Giles. Maybe you're right. However, I think we ought to give it the good old college try before we decide, well, let's take old Yeller out back and shoot him. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't even just Giles was just like instantly like, okay, well, let's go with your plan. Let's just murder him. Even though Buffy will probably fuck my shit up and send me packing, let's murder Spike. You know, it's just it's to me it's just not Giles. It's not the Giles that we have gotten to know, because like I said, it is not the same as what he did with Ben. It's apples and oranges. It's apples and fucking oranges, in my opinion. Anyway, I've taken up way too much time. It's a 4, and it's fucking fabulous, and I'm so happy we're back to something worth watching that's actually Buffy. And that's all I got to say. James.
Yes, sir.
On our sliding scale of 1 to 5, tell me and our beautiful, loving audience, how many nipples do you give this episode? And why?
I give this episode 4 nipples.
Yeah.
It's easily the best episode of the season far. And like you said, it's a Buffy episode through and through. It's got everything you look for in a Buffy episode. I am going to disagree with you on the fact on the like moving the plot forward. I don't necessarily see a lot of that in it. But that being said,
it does more of it than any episode prior has. Let's just say that.
But that being said, I do think it has everything that a Buffy episode, a good Buffy episode, should have. Like it's firing on all cylinders. And while we do disagree on whether or not Giles is being pragmatic or dogmatic, I will say I don't agree with Giles and Robin in this scenario. Their decision to go behind Buffy's back and kill Spike. Because
and I just feel like that's not the Giles that we've always known.
And I disagree with it because it doesn't, like, things are different now. Like, Spike has a soul now. And I said this to Darlene when we were talking about this situation after we watched the episode. Even before Spike had a soul, when he just had the chip, he was making decisions that were for the benefit of everybody. He was making, I don't want to say heroic decisions, because I don't know that they were necessarily
heroic for him,
but they were the right decision.
Except for when he tried to rape Buffy.
Barring that.
That was not a heroic decision.
That was right. So I do disagree with, regardless of whether you think Giles was being pragmatic or dogmatic or this or that or whatnot, I do disagree with this decision that Spike just needs to be murdered.
Yeah.
Again, because...
Especially after all this time, for fuck's sake. He lived with Giles for like a whole season. Giles has had plenty of opportunities to off this motherfucker. But now all of a sudden, when everybody's like, fuck, dude, we need like every powerful friend we can find. Now Giles is like, I think it's time to kill Spike. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, so I like I said, I disagree with it. Because again, like, A, Spike has a soul now. Things have changed. B, even before that, Spike was making the decisions to do the right thing. So yeah, I disagree with that, with their stance on killing Spike. But yeah, man, this is such a good episode. It's got everything you want from a Buffy episode. So yeah, it's a 4. It's a 4. And that's all I have to say about that.
All right,
and all I can say is, like, I know you're like, oh, I'm glad we're finally back on course, and like, all I've seen ahead of now is what's the name of the episode?
Dirty Girls.
Dirty Girls. So I can only comment on that beyond this episode. So I can't be as optimistic as you are, because I don't know how I'm gonna feel about stuff after that episode. But yeah, it was great to have this episode and to feel like man, this is what a Buffy episode should be. So yeah, it's a 4.
Yeah. I just want to say one last thing. The Giles we've always known, I feel like, maybe this is just my opinion, the Giles we have always known is the guy who would have, when Robin brought that up, would have done one of two things. He would have either said, fuck you, you're on your own. If you go after Spike, that's your thing. Or he would have went to Buffy and been like, this motherfucker that you've been having hanging at your house, yeah, Spike kills mom and he wants to fucking murder Spike. You better do something. That's number one. Number two, the Giles we've always known, at least in my opinion, is the guy who would have done whatever Buffy wanted to do, because she's already clearly established herself as the general, especially after Glory, everything she's done in the past. She's clearly the leader and is clearly capable of making the tough decisions. And Giles would have been the guy that says, fine, we do it your way. And kept an eye on Spike the whole time with a stake in his hand. Like, the second Spike fucking fucks up and that triggers and he goes after somebody in our circle, I will fucking dust him. That's the Giles, instead of the let's actively work against Buffy and keep arguing with her, keep arguing with her in front of other people, and therefore, diminishing her capabilities as a leader. And I just, don't like it. Not a fan. And I'm going to sternly write a worded letter.
Good. You should do that.
All right, James. BuffyRevisited.com, that's our website where you can find our email address, BuffyRevisited@gmail.com. No one ever uses it. You can also find a link to our YouTube page where you can watch the video version of this very podcast at this very moment.
Don't think too hard on it, people, because your head will explode.
It will, like the guy in last week's episode.
Yes.
And it's going to look like spaghetti on the wall.
It's messy. You don't want that.
Yeah. So, James, next week, we're going to be jumping into Season 7, Episode 18, Dirty Girls.
Don't ever do that again.
Okay. Not a problem. Anything you'd like to say to wrap it up this week?
No, sir.
All right, then. Thanks for joining us, as always, everyone, and we will see you next week. I've been one of your hosts. I'm Jeremy.
I'm your other host, James.
Ta-ta.